Focus
Remember
up.
Macaulay Culkin's famous look of astonishment on his Home Alone movie poster image? Okay, that's what AMC Entertainment's 1,740% run-up this year looks like. One of the biggest propellants has been this epic battle between the Wall Street short sellers betting against the stock versus the AMC apes, or retail investors who have banded together determined to buy up the stock and squeeze the shorts. But if they were to completely eliminate those betting AMC would fail, could that trigger the departure of the ape army as well? We bring in now Marc Cohodes. He is a former short seller who's come up with a unique proposal for AMC investors, along with Charlie Gasparino. Marc, welcome. Charlie, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Marc, I want to say this. I've never received so many comments like, don't have this dude on your show. And I will say this. I hate cancel culture. And I think what you're saying is an important piece to this AMC puzzle. So I'm just going to hand it to you, pal. Tell me what you are proposing.
First of all, Charlie and Liz, thanks for having me on. Really, the thing that ticked me off and got me started on this was January 28th, which was when the buy button was pulled for a few stocks out there. I thought that was unprecedented. I thought it was wrong. I thought it was illegal. And a lot of people really got screwed in that moment. Individuals, Joe Sixpack, if you will. And my lawyer wrote a letter to the Senate and Congress. I was on numerous podcasts saying this is just absolutely outrageous. And it really bothered me that people did not focus on how bad these individuals were screwed on that day. It was terrible. So I sort of let my anger die down a little bit, and I filmed a movie in Portland a couple months ago. And the Mulligan brothers, who are doing a documentary on this, were telling me the stories, these horrific stories of how these people got absolutely destroyed when the buy button was pulled.
But then they made some money on it too, though, didn't they? They did okay afterwards.
Some people may have made. A lot of people lost life-changing money, and I was just outraged by this. I was just sickened by it, and I said, you know, the mainstream media has forgotten these people.
And that's why you joined the ape movement, more or less. Is that correct?
I'm not in any movement. I'm a lone wolf. I have me, myself, and me.
What's your proposal, Marc?
Well, let me just finish with this. So this was bothering me. So I've been involved and been an investor in Overstock for more than 4 years. And it was controversial when I bought Overstock, but it's up 10 times. And Overstock owns something called T0, which is an alternative trading system. And you can trade something called security tokens on that platform. So my proposal was to come with an NFT, a souped up NFT, which would be a security token. NFTs are popular these days. And an NFT with utility, whether it's free popcorn or movie passes or a special golden ticket, would be dividended out to AMC holders. And I think, one, you would provide value to them. Two, it would be something else and a revolutionary thing for T0 to trade. And I think you would finally clean up the mess and the stock loan mess, which is known as Wall Street.
Right. And if there is naked short selling, I just want to unpack this a little bit for the viewers. Naked short selling, because people would want to get their hands on that NFT, right? The shorts would have to cover, and you would know if they're covering or if they're not covering. And so, to me, that's a fascinating plan. What does Adam Aron say about it, the CEO? Have you had any contact with him about this?
So, a couple weekends ago, on my way to Spain, I sent Adam Aron some emails. Someone, Pachter at Wedbush, who's a pal of mine, introduced me to Adam Aron. He said, here's his email, here's his phone number. I only sent him, I think, 5 emails back and forth.
Right.
And he said he'd think about it. And then when the fire drill, which was last week, came, Adam Aron sent me an email and said that he wants me to stand down. He doesn't want me contacting him, and that's that. So if he doesn't want to hear from me.
Does it go away, this plan?
Well, I think the plan could be used for anybody. I mean, I think the plan's a great plan, and I think really the plan's a great idea. And the only thing I've taken in the last week is abuse personally, but no one has said anything negative.
Well,
no one has said anything about the plan.
Mark, here's the thing.
It's part of the game when you're involved with AMC.
It is, but Mark, putting forth this kind of token is not necessarily illegal, but securities laws require that you actually have a legitimate business purpose for it, and you've created this record, whether it's on Twitter or these podcasts, that your business effort is to kill the short sellers. That's not a legitimate business focus to launch something like this. So aren't you opening up AMC to litigation if you were to pursue this?
Well, first of all, Liz, what you're saying is 100% false. I've never said that, and I never said it was something to squeeze the shorts. I mean, I'm a short seller at heart, and I know the heavy price those people pay,
right?
Especially when you do it legitimately. When you do it non-legitimately and you play around, and market makers short on downticks and blow the SSR rule, right, you have a problem. My main thing with the STO is there's an economic interest involved. I mean, hell, today Macy's said they want to NFT balloons from the parade.
I know, everybody's doing it. Yeah, and I agree with you. And I think what you said was a secondary outcome could be this sort of short squeeze. The primary outcome is to create value. But I need to ask you one quick question before they give me the wrap here. Amid all this stuff, and you've immersed yourself in AMC, you're obviously a shareholder in it as well right now.
Yeah.
Do you really think that there's market manipulation, that Citadel Securities is, doing stuff to screw with the company? Listen, as an investigative reporter, I want to believe that because I want to break that story. I can find no evidence. It doesn't make any sense.
Charlie, I have a lot of evidence. I've had a lot of people come to me on the past 9 months. I think payment for order flow should be illegal. It's illegal in Canada, Australia, the UK. And Citadel is a crafty outfit. They're 5 times smarter than Goldman ever was. And these guys are rascals.
Well, everybody on Wall Street's a rascal, though. That's come on.
Well, let the retailers be rascals too.
Charlie, you and I aren't rascals. I mean, I think the main thing is these people need a voice. And I want you to come on and do a Spaces call with me, Charlie. I want you to talk.
I answer to a higher authority.
Yeah, me.
I think it's called Liz Williams.
Liz, you can come on too. And I think Charlie needs to talk to these people to understand exactly what has gone on.
We shall
And I
see.
think you guys then judge for yourself.
Okay.
Thank you.
We got to run.
Thanks,
Marc
Mark.
Cohodes, thank you very much. We are coming right back.
Yeah. No, I processed it. I think I did what any good therapist out there would say to do is that. Maybe you shouldn't go with your first instinct. Maybe you shouldn't freak out and yell. Calm, cool, collected. I keep it in. I gave you could time that right there. I gave it. I lit that process. I wouldn't say right away he went off and freaked out. Like, I think I showed therapeutically appropriate amount of time before saying anything. And that's all we have to do. Going into that, this is like a big part, in my opinion. And this is raw. Maybe I'm interpreting this wrong, but maybe some of you noticed it. It's there. It's so fake. It's so smiley. It's a facade of trying. What did he say? I'm an investigative journalist. What are you talking about? You're an investigative journalist? This is a quote from Gasparino. Do you know who else doesn't have payment for order flow? North Korea. Does that sound like an investigative journalist? Someone who's unbiased in it? Like, that's so stupid. And even there, they're laughing, they're smiling, and it's never getting to the heart of it. And I think that's one of the biggest problems we have in this community is there are people who have very serious things. This STO, if I'm being completely honest, I don't know much about it. I've been looking into it. I've been trying to learn more. And whether it's good or not, at least we should be able to discuss it. There should be an open, serious debate where people bring the facts and the evidence, the pros and the cons, and we try to figure out what's going on. But other than that, it was just like a smiles thing. Gasparino, as soon as someone comes out there and discusses it, and we even see it a little bit with Liz Clayman, it's a completely different attitude. Everyone's like big and tough until someone actually shows up and it's like, all right, like what do you have? Like, let's actually talk about it. And their tone and their attitude changes like literally right in front of your face. So odd, super, super odd. Like I said, to reiterate, I don't know much about this STO thing. I know enough that it should at least be discussed. I know it can't go through for the pure aspect of like, if we do this, squeeze happening. To my understanding, and I'm no lawyer, that seems to be not allowed. You cannot do something for the sheer purpose of squeezing shorts. If the purpose is for free popcorn, you get a discount on tickets, and you want to get like a continual share count, all right, that's some utility there, and I'm sure the lawyers have to argue about it. You can't implement something with the sheer goal of attempting to get a squeeze to happen. That sounds super illegal to my understanding of like the little bit I've looked into it. So like anything that's happened over the past year now, there's good theories, there's good hypotheses. They should be tested. We should see if any of these concepts hold water. If they do, awesome. Let's explore it more. If they don't, let's forget about it. Let's move on to the next one. But overarching, this concept of mainstream media of, oh, they're so stupid. They don't know what they're talking about. Let's laugh. Like it's such a egotistical asshole vibe of just like, we know what's going on. We're the media. We have better connections to Wall Street. We're going to tell you what's what, and you better listen to us. It's such a pompous fucking thing to do, and it's so degrading. It's so incredibly degrading. But with it, a lot of things were said. A lot of words were exchanged. It wasn't the fireworks of people fighting that we thought it was going to be. It was more so of, it felt like a bunch of nothing. It felt like Marc couldn't get into what he was trying to explain. I feel like we haven't learned more about STOs than we previously knew. So a lot of words to get us essentially to the end, like where really we started. It feels like we went in a big circle, and I guess a lot of the times that's what you get with mainstream media. But with it, I don't know. I hope I have a little bit of hope that maybe one day all of them will join a Twitter space call and they could have more of a longer form discussion. Maybe we get some lawyers in there, what is and isn't legal. We could get some Wall Street enthusiasts and experts in there, what is and isn't appropriate from the Wall Street side. We need additional education. We need additional conversation. You cannot get through these complex subjects in a mere few minutes, especially when you have people who just have a smug asshole attitude and aren't really, in my opinion, seeking truth.